Okay, everybody. Do you know where we're at? Do you know where we're at? Check it. St. Peter's Square. St. Peter's Square in the Vatican. In the Vatican. Check it out. Ta-da! There's St. Peter's Basilica. And here is the rest of Bernini's columns. It's called St. Peter's Square. I didn't want to say anything, but it's more oval shaped. I haven't told anybody, but I noticed that when I first walked in. It's more of an oval, not a square. These, I don't know what you call it, these columns with the cover come out from St. Peter's, and Bernini intended them to look like the arms of the church embracing the world. Something along those lines. That is yet another obelisk, I believe, stolen from Egypt somewhere along the way, with a cross placed on top. It had to be moved here. It was in another location not far from here in Rome after it was brought from Egypt, but when they built St. Peter's, decided to put it there. And it was quite an endeavor, quite an engineering feat just to move that thing, as you can imagine. St. Peter's, the facade, I believe, was designed by Michelangelo, and the dome by Michelangelo. Like I say, the columns and this, I don't know what you call it, portico, designed by Bernini. If you get on YouTube sometime, look at footage, search for footage from the 1960s Rome, and you'll see cars parked here. It was a parking lot, St. Peter's Square. Thankfully, somewhere along the way, they discontinued the parking lot. Oh, up there is the Pope's apartment, Papa Francis, the top one on the corner. Occasionally pokes his head out and waves to the crowd. Maybe he'll wave to the crowd and give us a blessing today. Not sure. Here's just one of the millions of visitors that will come to St. Peter's, and you can see, like everyone else, he is just ecstatic to be here, overjoyed, can barely contain himself. Crazy how excited he is to see St. Peter's. He's standing there and just I've seen the polizia had to restrain him a couple times because of just how exuberant he was. It was a little embarrassing. He was even drawing attention of the Swiss Guard. They were just all on him. They got his eye on him. The Pope actually pointed to him and said, "Watch that one." It's a little too exuberant. Here he is. What's he going to do next? Where'd your mother go?
Over in the shade over there.
Over in the shade. You want to walk up closer? Here we are, a little closer look at that obelisk. One of the many fountains of Rome. The Pope, in his beneficence, supplies free water to the faithful who visit St. Peter's underneath the light post. It'd be better to get here early in the morning, but we're lazy. We slept in. Got here late, mid-morning, when everyone else did. And here we see that exuberant visitor partaking of the living water, the holiest of water in Rome, right from the fount of St. Peter's. How does it taste? tell me that's not the best water you've ever had. I heard that's filtered through St. Peter's bones, so there's a special blessing. He's taking more, it's so good. Do you thirst again after you drink that water? Will you thirst? Let's try it. That's good water. That is good water. There you have the bells of St. Peter's. Ding donging. Yeah. The exuberant visitor says that it's coming through a loudspeaker and not an actual bell. I don't know. Maybe they got that. You remember in the bell tower in Venice, they had that system that hit the bell from the side and they didn't actually use the clapper. Maybe that's what's going on. All right, walking up closer, 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 getting even closer to St. Peter's. If you've never been to St. Peter's, you should probably come. I believe there's a special indulgence that's granted. There's lots of indulgences to be earned in Rome. If you visit all 5 of the, maybe it's 7, I can't remember, there's 7 basilicas that you can visit. You can climb the holy stairs on your knees and get a special indulgence. I don't think I need any indulgences. I'm Protestant. That's the ultimate indulgence. No time in purgatory for me. I either go straight to hell or straight to heaven. Hopefully it's heaven. Although in Pompeii yesterday, and I'm not sure hell could be any hotter than that place. Ooh. Ah. A place I've only seen in pictures my whole life, and on screensavers the last few years, now live and in living color. So there's, I believe, St. Paul, and he's one of the patron saints of Rome. The other is St. Peter. Let's see. Paul's got the scroll and a sword. So the law and the word. St. Peter should have some keys. The other apostles are up there on the roof along with the Lord. No graven images here, just statues. Check it out. By the way, St. Peter's is in the Vatican. And the Vatican is actually another country separate from Italy. I'm sure you knew that, but it's actually the biggest country in the world. I'll check that. I'm being told that the Vatican is actually the smallest country in the world. The Vatican is the smallest country in the world. Can you believe that? St. Peter's, though, is actually the smallest church in the world. Along with the Vatican being the smallest country, it's the smallest church. I'll check that. I'm being told that St. Peter's is the largest church in the world. We shall see that a little bit later on. The exuberant visitor is here to correct me. Now, I don't see keys. I understood St. Peter had keys, but maybe I'm wrong. Because those look like scrolls as well. But no sword. Can you fact check me here, Jonah? St. Peter on the left or the right? Holy schmoly. Even the line to the restrooms is long. And here's a view of St. Peter's Square from back here. A couple fountains. I don't know if you can see down that avenue there. I forget what that avenue is called, but that leads you right back out into Rome and Italy. That avenue right there. One of my favorite features of Rome are the umbrella pines. I love those trees. I love those and the cedar trees that grow here. Again, I had to restrain him. He wanted to jump over the barrier there and head on up into the basilica, but I had to stop him. Now here's a dude that did get up there. I'm just wondering if somebody's going to yell at him. Hopefully they do. Nothing makes me happier than when I see the officials enforcing the rules, especially the dress code to get in. There's a dress code to get in. You can't have bare knees and you can't have bare shoulders and you can't wear a hat. And I think that's great. I wish my church would adopt those rules. I've never worn shorts to church, not even once. All right. I have not seen Papa Francis poke his head out yet, so we'll have to watch for that. Okay. What else can we say? St. Peter's they started construction in 1506, and believe it or not, there was another church here, another basilica that Constantine had built, and they had to tear it down to build this. Okay. Anything else we need to tell them? I think that's about it. Finished in 1626. Although I think work went on for many years after that, but largely finished in 1626. 1626. Crazy. It's cray-cray how old this place is. Okay. I know the girls probably just want some gelato about now. So just a word about how it's situated. As you can see, there's these plaques, these stones set into the piazza, and that says north, Tramontana. I'll have to look up what that means. But that line that you see is directly north, way down directly north. So obviously the basilica is going to be straight west. That line is right on the north-south line. Basilica is west. If you've seen that movie Angels and Demons, I think it's called, with Tom Hanks, they make use of that stone, or one of these stones. So that's west. You see, it's directly west. So the pillar lies right in between the basilica and that avenue to the south there. I think I read somewhere that the obelisk is like 2 degrees off, but pretty close. West-sud-west. Southwest. Got another fountain. I think I stepped in some gum. Something sticky. sud-sudwest, Ostro di Beccio, and sud, Ostro. That is the south, directly south. Est-sud-est. And east, directly east. It's that avenue, and you can tell it widens as it gets closer to the Vatican. Narrows on the other end, so it starts out narrow if you're coming from Rome. It starts out narrow and then widens as it gets up here to the Vatican. I'm not sure what that trailer is. I don't know if it's a post office, but man, I don't know why it's sitting there in the middle of the piazza. Makes sense if it was a medical tent or something, but I'm not sure what it's doing here. Okay. Might be time. Oh my goodness, what's this girl wearing? Let's take a look here. She left half her jeans at home. Good grief. She probably bought them like that. What the heck, Jonah? Do girls show up to high school in pants like that that's missing half the front? It's like, what the heck? She probably paid full price, extra. Probably paid extra to get holes cut in her jeans. Now, I can understand the knees. Okay, I get it. You wear the knees out. You don't really wear the knees out of your jeans, but you want to make it look like you did, so you buy some jeans that have holes in the knees, but the whole thigh area? I don't get that. I just don't get it. I want the whole pair of jeans when I buy jeans. Coming to Rome with a half a pair of jeans on that you bought that way. All right, what else we got here?